The global crisis has proven thousands of us, millions, if not billions of us wrong. It's not more time we need. Hello Saxo friends, Kadrian here, the Sax Habit Coach, bringing you the best practice tips, tools and ideas to help you as a beginner saxophone player develop the practice habits and routines to master your saxophone faster. My purpose is to serve, motivate and to inspire you. So if it's your first time here, consider subscribing and remember, tap that notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video on this channel. Now, have you ever felt that you have no time to practice, or have you ever made the excuse that you don't have any time to practice? By any stretch of the imagination, I'm not guiltless. Suffice to say, it wasn't until I got to college that I knew what a saxophone was. And this is true because I didn't grow up in a family that had instruments. Nobody played or owned instruments, and my grandma from time to time would only play a few bar chords here and there in the key of C whenever a guitar was available. But that was just that. Now, learning a new instrument was rather strange, and I didn't know then that in order to truly get better or to get good, one has to practice and practice a whole lot. At the age of 22, I didn't know that. That was when I started my saxophone journey. Now, it's books like this one, Talent is Overrated, that continues to inform me of what it means to be great. Less about what we perceive as having innate talent and more about consistent development. Now, I had a few excuses of my own. My excuse in college for not practicing was the time was not right. The time was not perfect. The music building was this tiny little building on campus, and only a few people could be practicing simultaneously at any given time. Now, the next part of the narrative was that most of the times the guys who were studying classical piano were the ones spending countless hours in those practice rooms as they sought to own their craft. No, the time wasn't perfect for me because there were no soundproof walls in the music building, and I didn't want anyone to hear me squeaking. Silly excuses. The time wasn't perfect because in my home I never wanted to disturb the landlord who lived on the same flat as I did, just on a different side of the house. We shared the kitchen, the dining room, veranda, washroom spaces, and so on. Now, the funny thing is, I had never gone to my landlord in the 5 years that I lived at his house and asked him if it would be okay to cause some disturbance, at least for a few minutes every day. Yes, it would have been a disturbance because as a beginner saxophone player, it is inevitable that you're going to sound horrible, atrocious. I remember one time going to a church to play, and a college mate of mine actually told me that he couldn't stand to hear me play when I just started. This was after I got a little better, by the way, so I wasn't feeling defeated. Now, I'm not one to dwell in the past because I can't change anything about it, although I would have become way better and faster by committing to practice for at least 1 hour every day while I was in college. None of my music teachers ever told me that. Sad. Oh well. You can't truly give what you don't have. Now, it is typical and common for people to say they don't have time to read a book, exercise, and they definitely don't have any time to practice playing that instrument, that saxophone. No, there's more than enough time if the time is spent right. The global crisis has proven thousands of us, millions, if not billions of us wrong. It's not more time we need to make sure we learn that language or become a better musician. What is needed is a habit, and that is built by becoming disciplined. Once the habit is properly formed, it's like second nature. Now, a lot of people come out on the other side of 2020 worse off. Now, this is not just about people losing their abilities to earn, to go to live events, or being able to be out and about. Many people run around worrying, others being fearful, terrified even, and others neglectful. Now, while you may still be in lockdown, you want to get moving. Not tomorrow, not next month, not next year, but now, today. So instead of watching TV for 2 hours, commit that time to your instrument. Instead of playing video games on your phone or the latest gadget all day, grab your instrument and start shredding. You don't need 16-hour-long days or all-nighters in order to get practice done. And you definitely need not to quit your day job either. With a little planning and the attitude to be consistent, you can get practice done every day. You may not have 2 or 3 hours on your hand, but do you have 10 minutes? If you're not able to prioritize 10 minutes to practicing, then you wanting to be better at playing your instrument is a fleeting thought. It's just a passing phase. According to Jason Fried in the book Rework, most people just don't want it bad enough. Then they protect their ego with the excuse of time. Keep in mind that the time will never be perfect. There is no perfect time to practice. If farmers waited on perfect weather, we'd all die from hunger. So grab your instrument and start practicing. And as always, saxo friend, push, play until something happens. Peace.